Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first ever episode of The Chosen Podcast. My name is Mark, and I'm alongside
Daniel.
Right, let's just jump into the topic, Daniel. What happened yesterday?
England lost. No, listen, I think, mate, from the first half, we were amazing.
We were fantastic, man.
We played unreal. And obviously, me and you were messaging during the game. And I was saying to you, especially in that first half, we need a second. We absolutely needed a second, I think, and we needed to get it pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
And it just didn't happen. And obviously, Italy took over then from the second half. But man, we played well, I think, in the first half. I think we've got a lot of young players who aren't used to it. Italy are way more experienced than us.
I think the experience, the more experienced side definitely was showing in the later half of the second half. When they were playing for extra time as well, they were just wearing us down, man. They knew exactly what they wanted to. They were getting to pens. That's all they wanted to do, wear us down mentally and physically. And look what happened, man. But
I think we started very quickly as well. We come out the blocks like we were ready. Crisp, you know, we were. So maybe they tired themselves out too quickly, you know. And then again, that's just inexperience, isn't it?
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. I think they started off like that for most of the games that we had in the competition, didn't they? They started off strong pretty much every time, really, apart maybe from Scotland. But like the Denmark game again, off the blocks, go. Do you know what I mean? They were fantastic before. Like they've been playing well the whole competition, man, and props to every single player because they absolutely smashed it. They
100%, man. I mean, this is, especially in our lifetime so far, is the best team we've had.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, you look at the team of the Beckhams and the Lampards and all of those big players. What did they ever do? They didn't ever do anything. Unfortunately, man, they were a great team, great players, but they didn't do anything.
Yeah, very true.
You have to look at this team, and it's like they got to a final for the first time since '66. That's incredible, man.
That's incredible. Insane. And the fact is as well, though, is that was done with probably the youngest team that we've ever had.
Oh, so many young players.
Do you know what I mean? So many young players on and off the bench, and we got to a final, and that's with the lack of experience as well. So imagine now we go into the World Cup with this experience of a final with the players that we have now. That is going to be such a good look.
100%. And I think special praise to Gareth Southgate, man. Like he got all his tactics right, even when people were saying like, what's he doing? Why is he doing this? He got it right, and you can't say he didn't. You know, he took on he brought on Grealish, in the Denmark game, and then brought him off.
Yeah.
Like he knew what he was doing, and he brought him on, and obviously he thought this isn't working, so he took him back off.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to have balls to do that as a manager, because if this goes wrong, this comes back on you.
Especially because, you're right. Especially because the whole of the country was shouting Jack Grealish from the get-go, weren't they?
Oh, they were desperate to see him.
Yeah, imagine you take off the player that the whole of England is wanting to see on the pitch, and the opposite side score. Imagine.
Oh, it's nuts.
Uproar, mate. Uproar.
I mean, I must admit, the Grealish subject, I put a poll on Instagram just at the beginning of the World Cup and asked, do people think he's overrated? And it was like 75% was, no, he's not overrated. Because, I mean, I've seen some stuff of Jack Grealish, but obviously I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm not watching Aston Villa all that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So I was like, I'm not even sure if he's that good. But everyone said he's great. And unfortunately, he just didn't get too much time to shine in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, there was moments of him that for me were like, okay, there's definitely some fire in him for sure. But I think, like you said, that I think what was I'm sure he had a couple of assists though. I can't remember what games they were.
Yes.
What was the 1-0 game in the
Ukraine he might have got because that was 4-0.
Yeah. The Czech game. I think he got an assist in. I could be wrong there, but that
I could be. Honestly, my memory. I have a memory of a fish. If you ask me to remember anything that happened today, I might be able to do it. But...
Yeah, just.
Yeah, just
minor detail.
Yeah. But
No,
now,
but
like,
he had a few moments where I thought, okay, there's something in there, but um, oh mate, I just even just the young players, man, like Foden, I think was brilliant when he was on the pitch.
yeah,
He
I
was
agree.
just full of energy. Sancho when he came on, brilliant. Even Saka, some matches he had a blinder. I thought he as a young 19-year-old on the
Mm.
pitch in a competition like that. Fair play to him. I would have loved to have seen more of Rashford.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen that because I think there
But
was
don't you find it incredible that people of Sancho and Rashford and Grealish, like players of their quality, couldn't get into the team?
yeah
You know,
yeah
like Saka, as you said, 19, and he was starting ahead of these players. It's incredible.
it's insane. I think that
Unfortunately,
just goes to show.
sorry, unfortunately for Saka, I feel like the Italy game just swallowed him up. It was
Yeah
kind of almost like a
yeah.
teenager playing with adults.
Yeah, I
And
think you're right.
but people forget he's 19.
Mm,
He's 19 years old. That's crazy.
it
It's
is
really
mad.
crazy, you know.
I agree with you. I think because the Saka that we saw play against Italy was not the Saka that we saw against Ukraine
No,
or the other teams that you played
he
against.
was totally different. I felt like the occasion just, as I said, swallowed him up. I think,
Yeah,
which is a real shame. It's
yeah.
incredible talent. Um, and what a set of balls on him to take the last penalty.
Oh man.
You know, um,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was gutted that he missed it, but like, props to him. I could not do that.
for
I
me,
mean, I'm not a professional footballer, but you know what I mean.
for me, my wife would tell you, right, because we were watching the game together. And as soon as he stood up, I said to her, "Why is he taking the penalty? He
Mm,
shouldn't be taking the penalty. Why hasn't
mm,
Sterling taken the penalty?
yeah,
But Grealish, you
yeah,
know, these are players that should have been stepping up." Like I was not surprised when he missed, and
yeah,
I hate to say that because we're England
yeah,
fans,
yeah. Of course.
but I wasn't surprised. What I was surprised about was the abuse he got afterwards.
Yeah, that.
You know,
Yeah, man. I was going to work this morning, yeah, and I was looking all over Instagram, just flicking through as you do, and bruv, the amount that not only Saka but Sancho for missing, Rashford for missing,
Mhm.
like the amount that of abuse, racial slurs and phrases and whatever it may be sent to their profiles alone is
Yeah.
fucking disgusting, bro.
Oh, it's unreal. It is unreal. Oh, it's upset me all day. I can't
Yeah,
lie. It's upset me, man. It's
yeah,
horrible to see it because he obviously missed the penalty and then all the abuse started. But only 3 hours ago, before that, he was a hero.
that's
It's
what I
amazing.
mean.
Look how good you are. You've got us to a final with the best team that England have ever had, and blah blah blah. And you lose, and now all of a sudden, you're the worst person in the world, and
Yeah,
you're this and you're that, and you're this racist, and it's awful, mate.
it's so mad, man. I think what I cannot comprehend, right, is how invested, how toxically invested people can be into a sport where you can racially abuse someone of 19 not even just 19 years of age
Yeah,
for any age, doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Racial abuse to anyone should never happen. But in this case, a 19-year-old man stepping up in an opportunity that's so overwhelming that half or three-quarters of the fucking nation would never even think about, man.
no,
Like, how can you be so like just how vile and uneducated to do that to someone, man? It's just but it
so, see, I've had this conversation with a streamer the other day because he had someone come into his chat who was being racist, and
oh
someone else
really?
said the same thing. Oh, they're just uneducated, but I kind of feel like saying someone's uneducated gives them a way out because it's kind of like, oh,
Oh right, yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're too stupid to understand. It's not. They're not too stupid to understand. They know
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
between
yeah,
right
yeah,
and
yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
They're obviously raised wrong. They're just complete morons, to be honest with you.
Mm,
You know.
mm,
As I said, that what they were heroes 1 minute and the next minute they were everything that's
yeah.
now being said, And
Yeah, no, 100%.
I mean, look at the damage they've done in London. You see all the videos of people
Oh
smashing things
man,
up.
yeah.
And,
Leicester Square was an absolute mess, bro. Do you see that?
yeah, like Wembley as well. Like, did you see all the fans trying to break in and they were pushing past the
Yeah.
police and
Oh, Was that? Oh, was that the video? Okay, I didn't know they were breaking in. I saw a
Yeah,
video of that bear, like people rushing everyone and all that sort
that's
of stuff.
it. Yeah, yeah, because they were
Oh, is
breaking
that
in
the
with
same
no
one?
tickets. Yeah,
No.
they had no tickets, so they were trying to force their way in. You know,
Wow.
so it's crazy, man. But because the game before, so I know this for a friend who, I say friend, I work with him, but he had friends who went up there, and what they were doing is all the stewards were checking the like COVID, because you had to have a COVID test before, didn't you? So all
Mm.
the stewards were lined up checking your COVID test, so they weren't checking tickets because it's all automated. So they were all showing their
Oh.
COVID tests, and then they would go into the turnstiles, and they'd two-man it up and force their way through, and only one person would have a ticket.
Oh, right.
So then they went on social media after that game, how we snuck in and all that sort of stuff. So that's why this time around they were sort of prepared for it. I don't think they were prepared for people to kick their way in. No,
Yeah, man, that's mental, man.
desperate to get into a game. It's nuts.
That's what I mean. Like, I mean, yeah, like that stuff, like hooliganism
Mm.
to that degree, the racial abuse, um, it puts me off football massively, bro. It
100%.
really it puts me off football. And what like, astounds me though is that like it proves how many people are racist within this country, and
Yeah,
like moments like this, like football brings it out, not brings it out people like they're not already there, that they're already racist,
mm.
but it shines, like people make it shine and make it obvious in this light of football, right, in this realm of football, with these moments, stupidly obviously. But these are the same people that are teaching our kids,
Yeah,
driving the bus, our buses to work, or same people that are like, I don't know, looking after our family members in hospital or something. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
the same
100%.
people, and they're going to these are the people that are just going to normal jobs at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
And to think that it kind of shows, for me anyway, like that there is so many people that we just don't know out there that are so racist.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, 100%.
Um,
I mean, I
I
saw
think,
one on Twitter from going what you're saying is a guy put something incredibly racist. I would never repeat it, but he put something incredibly racist on Twitter,
mm,
forgetting the fact he had his place of work in his bio.
mm,
I think someone said he'd left like his postcode and his car registration in a picture, and
wow, of
obviously the internet went to work and
course,
contacted his work, and the work. I think they held an investigation, and he's been suspended on like an investigation because now he's saying his Twitter was hacked. It wasn't me; it was hacked, and
oh
it's
my,
like, mate,
fuck off,
you know.
yeah,
Um,
Jesus,
I mean,
that's mad.
I suppose the work had to prove it, man. There's a legal system, you can't just sack somebody. So
No, you have to go through a process, don't you? Unfortunately, but
I was horrified by it, man. It
yeah,
just how quickly everything turned.
yeah,
It was so weird, so
J-
weird. Like we're all disappointed. Don't get me wrong. We all wanted to win, but why go to that length to
yeah,
hound the players? And I don't know. It's just
yeah,
something we'll never understand because we're not like it.
yeah, exactly. And I think if it was the other way around, say for example, if it was Henderson that missed, I don't think the abuse would be anywhere near as severe and as vile. Do you know
No,
what I mean? At all,
I don't
nowhere
disagree.
near. And it's disgusting, man. It really, really is. And like yeah, like I said, because of this, it makes me like give up on the game, give
Yeah.
up on the game of football, because I'd rather just watch something else now.
But
That's why
all these things, like the racism, the damage, like the fighting. I saw some messed up videos of people being naked and just doing some weird stuff. Like
mm,
this is the reason the rest of Europe and the rest of the world wanted us to lose because of
yeah,
these morons. Because
yeah,
they just make us all look like idiots.
yeah,
This is the
exactly.
problem.
And they think it's fun. They think
Yeah,
it's fun.
it's oh man, it's nuts. Listen,
Deluded.
we all wanted England to win. Of course we did. You know what I
Mm,
mean? But
yeah, yeah.
I don't
I
know, man.
mean, listen, massive props to the guys, man, and I hope that um, aside from all this abuse and all this racist remarks being thrown left, right, and center, I really hope that Sterling, Rashford, all the rest of them have a a strong support system around them at this very moment in time. So they just, they're being looked after and hopefully are safe throughout this. But something needs to happen, man. Something needs to happen.
100%.
Like this whole thing about stopping racism within the game of football has been going on for years.
Yeah.
And yet look at it now, still even in our home turf, our own English fans are the English fans are doing it to our own English team. It's just absolutely backward.
I know. I don't genuinely think I've ever seen it as bad as this. Ever. Ever. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. I was so shocked, I knew there would be giving them abuse, because that's just, you kind of accept that because they lost. But I did not expect the level of racism to come out of this. I was shocked. Genuinely, this morning I was just reading things. It was just like, this is mental. This is really mental.
What do you like? It makes me think. Well, what do you reckon should be done, or could be done in order to because sometimes people get banned from the stadiums and stuff and all that jazz. But like there's thousands upon thousands. I don't know how they would do that.
But they're talking about on social media doing ID, aren't they? You have to prove some sort of form of ID. But I mean, people can get fake ID. So does that work? Probably not. But apart from that, how else do you do? I genuinely don't know how else you would do it.
It's just policing the amount, which is mind-boggling in any way. Policing the amount of people that come in to cause a mess. Like I was speaking to, I think it was my sister today. She goes, you wouldn't see this like in the beginning of Wimbledon, would you? Like,
no, 100%.
You wouldn't, would you? Wimbledon's still a competition. It's still a sport competition. Do you know what I mean? It's still, but you don't get hooligans going left, right, and center. Even with rugby, you wouldn't even see it with rugby. Yeah, with football, some reason, I don't know why.
I said this to somebody earlier on. Like, we have one of the most passionate fan bases in football. You could tell it. Look at Wembley Stadium. It was like something you've never seen before. The singing, the celebrations, everything, But we also have the most toxic fans going. 100%. It's just fact. You saw it after the game. You see it now. It's still going on as we speak. And as you said, like, you just got to hope the players have a good support system, man. And I don't want to single anyone out, but especially Saka. 19 years old. He's still a young man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got his whole career ahead of him. Is he going to have to deal with this for the rest of his life now?
Yeah.
Or the rest of his footballing
exactly.
life,
Well, yeah, man. I mean, not only the weight of the moment, obviously losing the game due to missing the penalty, but with alongside the racial abuse as well, like that can ruin a man. That might just ruin his career. I
100%.
hope, I pray to God it doesn't, obviously, but as you say, he's only young, and to deal with that amount of pressure and that amount of hatred all in less than 24 hours, he's fucked, man.
It's crazy. I mean, who knows what they're seeing and reading today? I mean, I just hope they've been advised to stay away from it and just,
But I think go on.
I was going to say, because it's 1%, man. The 99% of the country is over the moon with what they've done. We're disappointed, but we're over the moon. They got to a final for the first time in 55 years. Like, we are proud of them. You know what I mean? But it's the 1% that ruin it for everybody. I posted a message on Instagram, like, with support for the England team, and a friend messaged me and just said, I wish people would stop giving this airtime. I wish people would celebrate the fact how far we got and how well they done, rather than keep talking about it, because I suppose it's making it more out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I agree, but unfortunately it's there and it needs to be stopped.
It needs to be addressed, man. Yeah. And that's the shame of it. That's the thing that is, it does dampen the fact that we got to a final for the first time since '66. But that's not by the fault of the team or anything. It's the fault of the fans and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, it has to be said. And I think, like, with like social media such as Twitter, such as Instagram, there needs to be a way that racial abuse and slurs and emojis or whatever people want to use that get sent or typed out in social, there should be some way to ban that or somehow. Because if people can take down stories of people talking about politics or something, it's not, oh no, take that down because it's not, then surely surely you can take comments off about racial abuse that are actually harming individuals, you know? Surely you
Yeah.
can do that. Like, I don't understand. You can do it. You could probably track my whereabouts now. And yet you
Yeah.
can't take a comment off someone's profile. That's
Yeah.
mad. Crazy.
Because what's so obviously you're aware of say Twitch. So Twitch is an example I use, and we'll get onto that on another day. But I stream on Twitch. That has an auto mod system. So if somebody puts something which you've specifically said I don't want in the chat, it will block it. So why can't Twitter block these words? As soon as you type it out, it doesn't let you post, or when you post it, it's instantly deleted, or something.
Yeah.
There should be some sort of auto mod system.
Yeah.
That stops it getting through.
Do
And
you know what?
all ways of spelling it, and all ways of trying to get around it with spaces and
Yeah.
These people aren't stupid that run Twitter and Facebook, and they've got
multi-billionaire companies.
Exactly. So they could do it if they want to. So you just question, do they want to?
Begs the question, doesn't it?
I know.
Begs the question. I think a lot of people at that point will go, "Oh, freedom of speech, freedom of speech." But hang on, freedom of speech doesn't mean you get the freedom to harm someone. Do you know,
Exactly.
do you know what I mean?
Do
you know what I mean? Like,
listen,
cut that out now.
You're entitled to your opinion, and you if you want to say that England sucked and they were rubbish, like, you're entitled to that. But once you start abusing somebody,
that's
you've stepped over the mark. It's game over
by a long shot. Yeah, 100%.
And also your arguments are always invalid, man. Once you go down that route, you're invalid. You're not important anymore. I'm not listening. No.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have a conversation with you about how bad England were and blah 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 and all that sort of things. But as soon as you attack somebody, game over. I'm not talking about it. Yeah, no, you don't.
Oh, mate. I mean, thankfully, I haven't had that yet. But if someone started saying that in front of me, I'll go off on one. I just feel like I couldn't see. I just feel mad.
I just genuinely
it makes me angry.
Don't know if I know anybody like that. Genuinely,
no.
I haven't heard. No. Nobody has texted me anything like that. Everything has been like, obviously gutted. We were all gutted they lost, but just how brilliant they were. I show you loads of texts on my phone about how brilliant England were, and we were all proud of them. And obviously, we wanted to win, but
yeah.
But listen, let's be more positive. I mean, England got to a final.
A final, man.
Like, that is amazing.
And they played well, regardless.
Mate, I know. Did you know what? At the beginning of the Euros, I was joking with some friends. I just said, I don't even think we'll even get out of the group stage. Like, I just don't think we'll do it. And we made a final, but it's just. Man, how can we not be proud of the players? You know what I mean? It's just,
mate. They've created a new part of history for us
100%.
for the first time in God knows how long. Do you know what I mean?
But also, people forget penalties. We lost on penalties. It's a game of luck. At that point, it's a game of luck.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Like Rashford. I mean, I'll be honest. With his run up, I was a bit like, what are you doing? He's zigzagging and he's stepping, and it's like, mate, old fashioned, run it, hit it, shoot.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with it. I lost my train of thought with it, but it was, I don't know, man. It was amazing. As I said, it was luck at that point. We played well in extra time. I thought we definitely picked it up in extra time. Man, as I said to you, we needed that second goal early on. If we could have got the second goal in the first
you're right.
half, it's game over, man. I don't think they'd have come back.
Yeah, I reckon if we would have been. I would like to. I'd like to think that if we got the second goal in the first half, then that would have been game over. Take control of the game. Keep the ball as much as possible. All that sort of stuff, and just play until the final whistle. Just play as the best you could possibly play. Definitely, man. I think. What was I going to say? Another shout out that we have to do for the penalties was Pickford, man.
Oh yeah, Pickford was amazing.
He did not fall under the pressure, I feel, at all. There's a little video of him on online, which I don't know if the context is true, or maybe it is. I don't know, but I feel like someone's talking to him, but you can't see the other person. But regardless, he sits there and he says, "No problem." He sort of says to himself, "Right, no problem, we've got this," sort of thing, right? And that was the penalty that he needed to save in order to keep England in. And obviously he went and saved it. He was just he was cool cat. Like, fuck it, this is what it is now. Like, let's play, let's go.
And that penalty to keep us in it, man, that was an amazing save as well. Because you
Oh,
know what? When he saved and it hit the post, I thought he was going to hit the back of his head and go in.
yeah, I
I
thought,
just thought
yeah,
that would be
yeah,
England's luck, wouldn't it? Like
yeah,
Pickford own goal on the penalty. It's just,
yeah. Oh man,
you know.
imagine.
But here's a question for you, man. Your player of the tournament from
I
England.
was gonna ask you the same
Uh,
question. I was literally gonna ask you the same question. Okay, player of the tournament has to be. Hmm, it's a very good question.
Because I know for me, like Sterling is obviously a huge shout. He was unreal in every single game.
Mm,
You
mm,
know, he
mm.
he was unreal. Maybe not so great in the final. I don't think he was as good as he's been all the time. But listen,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is what it is. He was amazing the
Overall,
whole thing.
yeah, overall.
Declan Rice is going to be some player.
Mm,
Yesterday he was incredible.
mm. The
He,
way
I
he was
mean,
driving forward, I thought he was a centre mid, bro.
mate,
I
he
put,
was
I thought it was a
unreal.
proper like centre forward. Let's get,
Yeah.
like running the ball up. Like who? I was like, who is he?
I
What's
think he
that?
messed up one time, and the rest of the time he was solid.
He
He
was,
was
yeah, he was great.
absolutely solid. He's
Yeah,
so
he was really
comfortable
good.
on the ball. It come across as he felt no pressure,
Mm,
you know.
mm.
And I have to say the same for Calvin Phillips. I was when he was
Phillips,
included in the
yeah,
team, I was a bit like, well, I'm not really sure about Phillips, but
yeah.
again, unreal tournament,
Do you know what?
absolutely unreal.
I'm actually going to say Phillips for me. Because every time, okay, no, sorry, let me say it. Phillips or Walker.
Yeah, Walker was
Walker
another one. Yeah,
was solid, mate.
yeah.
He was on job every single game. Every single game he had the passion and the skill to yeah, he was just crazy, man. He
The
was
thing,
so
the
good.
thing with Walker, like he was just so calm, just so
Yeah.
calm. Like he just never panicked.
And whenever
And
there was like a counter attack on us or a rush of play, and Walker was sprinting, like
yeah,
Walker's got it
he's
already. No
got
matter how far away he's got it.
he
Like,
went for everything as well, man. He got
yeah,
stuck
he
into
really did.
everything, and
He
I just
really
think.
did.
But I would
Yeah.
say in terms of my player of the tournament, I would have to. I think Rice, man. I'm going to have to go with Declan Rice. I think he was unreal.
Mm,
I think he was
mm.
really, really solid, and I think he's going to end up leaving West Ham. Has to, doesn't he? I think.
Oh, he will. Yeah, he'll
You
get
know?
because of this tournament, he'll get a contract somewhere else,
Yeah.
somewhere bigger for sure. I have to give props to Maguire as well.
Yeah. Very good.
I think he was very. I think to be fair, the England back was strong. The England defense was, I feel, the strongest that I have seen in many many years.
And what about Maguire's penalty as well? That's
Oh
the best penalty that we
man,
had. It was unreal.
yeah,
Like Harry Kane's was a good penalty, but Maguire stuck that top bins. He was not
top
messing
bins.
around.
It broke the camera. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. No,
Mate, the
didn't get
replay
that.
come up, the ball hit it, and he went black and white, just like
Oh, really?
nothing was shown. Just smashed it up, bro.
Because again, like as I said about Saka, when Maguire stood up, I just said to him, "Why is Maguire taking a penalty?
Mm,
He's a
mm,
centre back. What is he doing?"
yeah,
And I had no confidence, and then he banged it
yeah,
top corner. I was like, "Well, that shuts me up,
yeah,
doesn't it?" You know, fair play.
yeah.
Listen, what a penalty! It's just no keeper is saving it.
I did see on Instagram today that Jack Grealish had stated that he wanted to take a pen.
Yeah.
He wanted to step up and do it, but I think that Saka must have said, "Yeah, please me," and then Southgate was like, "Yep, yeah, right, cool, you're in."
I think
You're in.
so. I mean, I think the interview that Southgate said was that Saka was taking penalties in training and he was doing well, so he
Oh,
picked
was
him.
he?
And then he
Oh,
said,
fair.
in the interview, like the choice was mine. I made the choice.
Oh,
That's why I said he apparently said to Saka, it falls on me ultimately. I picked it, the penalty takers.
yeah.
And I think that's really cool from a manager to say that as well. Hopefully that
To sort
lessens
of
the
take
blow
that
to Saka, you know.
responsibility for him. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, definitely.
But
I
listen,
agree.
ultimately, if you go out in the first round, who gets the blame? The manager. The manager gets the sack.
Yeah,
You know, so
so true.
it's just good for Southgate, I think, to try and take the blame. You know.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think for Southgate as well, for the team, he seems to have not obviously been there, but he seems to have been an absolute godsend. He's treated that team like it's his family. He really has.
Yeah.
I think anyway, like from what I've seen on like the news or wherever, their morale around the camp seems to be so positive, very close with each other. And even the subs that weren't playing, like Rashford, big players that weren't playing, they're always smiling around training, this, that, and the other. Like, to keep a team of that standard and that level who aren't playing still happy take a lot from a manager, and
Yeah.
you know, and he obviously done that really, really well, which props to him for, you know, because
and I saw that the FA wanted to give him a contract for the 2024 Euros, didn't they?
Oh, really? Yeah.
And he's kind of said he hasn't sort of turned it down, but he sort of said, I don't want to outstay my welcome. And I think that's pretty cool as well, because you could just jump on it and go, well, I'll take the money.
Yeah.
You know, but he
Yeah.
hasn't. And he's probably going to wait to see how we get on in the Euros. No,
Yeah.
the World Cup.
The
Next
World
year,
Cup.
sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Because let's be honest, I mean, if we go out in the first round or don't even qualify for the World Cup, I mean, I know we already have, is that if we go out, then do you want to keep him for the 24?
Well, yeah, of
then
course.
You start thinking, you know, so
I
think
start asking those questions.
He's made a very decent decision there, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
And one that he's made with the team in mind, not himself.
Yeah,
it's a very selfless
I was going to say
you know?
that. Yeah, it's very selfless, and it shows that he's doing it for not only the money purposes. It's not a business thing. It's passion. It's you know, it's for the right reasons, which is which I think breeds a lot of more confidence in me about the manager and about the club. So you know, no doubt for the rest of the country that support and love the team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But mate, to say that we've seen a final at least is
it's unreal.
Is good enough.
We're one step away, man. We're one step away.
Do you reckon we could do it? Do you reckon we got it in the team for the World Cup, perhaps?
I just think, mate, like, why not? Why not? I mean, we played so well this Euros. They're only going to get better as well. These younger players are only going to get better.
Facts. Yeah,
you know,
100%.
There is the argument you have better teams in there, like Brazil are going to be in there, and Argentina, and all those sort of countries. But I don't see why not.
I mean,
see why not.
You know, arguably some of the best teams that have ever played in the World Cup before: Spain, Germany, France. They were all in this competition, and you know, France didn't really pose too much of a threat. I thought Spain were good, but not as good as they have been in the past. Germany, we obviously beat. So that's already half of the good teams anyway.
I mean, France on paper are the best team
100%.
On paper, and they flopped this Euros.
Yeah.
They just weren't very good at all.
Yeah.
And
100%.
It's funny because they were the one team that I was like, we really do not want to get France.
Yeah.
Because France will eat us alive. And they were just awful.
Yeah.
I would have preferred them in the final yesterday, actually.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, no, very true. I reckon we've got a good chance, providing we work on what we already have and how we already play. Then 100%, I reckon we got a good chance.
And they've just got to keep positive, man. They got to let the negative stuff go over their heads. Carry on just being positive, man. Just be a team, be a family, if you will, and just crack on together. You know?
Yeah, definitely, man. I think you know. Obviously, this isn't in no way, shape, or form justifying any abuse or any racial abuse or any abuse, whatever it comes under. But you know, they must have a mindset to deal with this stuff, which obviously isn't nice. They shouldn't deal with this stuff anyway. Do you know what I mean? But you know, being in the public eye, I suppose you have to have a certain type of mindset to know this will come in one way, shape, or form. Sadly enough.
I was going to say that it's pretty sad that you have to expect that.
Oh man,
it's incredibly,
yeah. To know that there is going to be abuse at some point is just baffling, man.
But that's why I said, like, we don't want to go down it again. But that's why I was so surprised with the racial stuff. I knew they would get abused and you're rubbish and all of that sort of stuff. Because that's going to come, you know. But I was so surprised by the racial. Did not expect it at all. But listen, let's not dwell on that too much.
Yeah.
Let's just hope it.
Let's leave it on a positive, which means, you know, we've good job, England.
100%.
Good job, England.
England, we love you. Keep your heads up. Don't worry about the negative stuff. That says more about them than it does anyone else.
For real, facts.
Keep it up, man. And listen, we didn't say when it's coming home. It's coming home in 2022.
Too right,
like
mate.
That.
Too right.
So I think let's move on from the football subject.
Cool.
Because listen, it still hurts as well. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm still, I don't want to talk about it too much because little man tear might start.
We're still upset by this. So I think so let's move on to why we started this podcast, Mark.
Yes, let's do that.
Obviously, I messaged you and asked you if you'd be interested
Mhm.
Um, as you know, I stream on Twitch, and it was an idea for me from a while ago that I wanted to do a podcast because I
Yeah.
watch a lot of podcasts. I think they're cool. It's nice to chat to different people and that side of things.
Yeah.
But I was always just convinced that I just wouldn't be very good at talking. And listen, it's still not confirmed. You know, this is only episode 1. But a guy in my chat was saying to me, "Mate, you stream, you talk to us. Like, what's the difference? There's no difference." You know, so it kind of gave me the encouragement to, yeah, why not?
That is a very good point. That is a very good point.
So I was just
That is
like,
a very
yeah,
good
like that's cool. Like, why not? And obviously, me and you have known each other for donkey's years, man.
Yeah,
I think we went
yeah.
to the same nursery, so that's 20,
Yeah.
or 25, 26
20
years ago. So
Mate,
you
that
know,
is so crazy.
which is crazy to say, man. It's nuts. So yeah, man, I couldn't think of anyone else I'd rather do it with than
Yeah,
you.
man. As soon as you said it, I was like, yeah, I have to jump on board. Have to.
So what interested you about doing it?
I mean, I from watching podcasts and stuff myself at home, I like the element that you're involved but not so involved. Obviously, you're not there chatting with the guys, but or the people that are doing the podcast, but you feel as if you are involved in hearing these cool conversations or debates and whatnot and all this sort of stuff. I guess having done some podcasting before, creating that world where someone can feel involved by speaking with, or not speaking, but being involved with a video that has people speaking in it, creating that atmosphere for people is fun. I get that. I understand it, and I like chatting with you. We obviously would normally go out for a couple of pints if it wasn't for COVID. Chat away. Well, why not do it on a podcast? Why not?
Yeah, there's absolutely no difference, is there?
Same vibe. I just ain't got a beer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just when we
Although,
do have a beer, it just gets a little bit more slurred.
yeah. Episode 4, just you wait.
Yeah. It's coming. The beers are coming.
Yeah, but
sorry, go on.
No, I just thought it'd be a great opportunity, not only to do it with a great mate of mine, but to just chat, man, just like we used to, man. Do you know what I mean?
So obviously that great mate of yours said no, and you just ended up here, was it? Is that
Yeah, so I came here, mate.
Yeah.
To be fair.
No, so I'm a big fan of the Jackmate podcast.
Yeah,
I guess
same.
Jackmate's Happy Hour. I think that's kind of where the idea come from, man. I kind of liked just a couple of friends together having a good
Chatting.
laugh.
Yeah.
Get people on, talk about some different subjects. And I think that's like where my idea for a podcast came from, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. They do great podcasts. I've been watching him for a while as well. Not only just his podcast, but his normal channels as well. And I think he's done really well. Yeah, I rate him.
So I think on the Jackmate subject, they do, as you're aware, they do a little segment called the meal deal segment.
Yes.
Where they ask people their meal deal. It can be Tesco, Sainsbury's, whatever you want. There are other supermarkets available. So yeah, there's the question for you, mate. What's your meal deal choice?
Woo! Okay, here we go. Ready? At the moment, it is this. It is a southern fried chicken pasta from Sainsbury's, right? Beautiful.
Nice.
Little bit of sauce in there, onions, sweet corns, chicken pasta. Gorgeous.
You're enjoying this a little bit too much, but
mate,
go on.
I might just go Sainsbury's and get one. I then have a what was it called? Tropicana. It's like a multi-fruit thing. Was it? I don't actually know the name of it, but it's multivitamin. Yeah, multivitamin.
Okay.
Tropicana. And then I would get a packet of. This might be a debatable one, but one of my favorite crisps is Ready Salted Walkers.
Oh, that's so boring. That's so boring.
Everyone that I've said this to, they're like, Ready Salted? Are you all right?
Boring flavor you can get.
Bro, it's so boring. It's so plain and simple, but I love it.
Too boring for me.
But I love it. And then on the side of that, I have to get something on the side sometimes. It's either going to be Reese's, packet of Reese's, the two little peanut chocolate ones, or standard Milky Way bar.
Milky Way, yeah. I'll go with Milky Way. That's cool. I don't know about the Reese's things. I'm not too hot on peanut butter.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, it's an acquired taste, I suppose.
It definitely is.
Yeah, yeah. That'll be mine. What's yours?
So, as you're aware, and we'll probably get into a different podcast, but I don't eat solid food at the moment. And I haven't
Yeah,
done
of
for
course.
2 years, but we'll get to that. But before all of that sort of situation, it would be a tuna and sweet corn pasta from Tesco's,
Yeah, yeah,
which I genuinely got most times, to be honest. So
yeah.
say that.
Mm.
I would say sweet chili crisps. I think they were Walkers. Can't really remember
Or would it be the
because it's been so
sensation ones?
long. That's them. Sensations. That's it. I'm glad you
Yeah,
said that.
sensations. Yeah.
And an orange Lucasade. Which orange Lucasade was my
Mm.
favorite fizzy drink.
Do you know what? I remember every time that we used to get lunch from when I used to work with you on the removal. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Every time you had a Lucasade, I
Yeah.
swear to you.
I must have gone through bottles and bottles of
Yeah.
Lucasade. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, bottles and bottles of bottles. I reckon you went through liters of it, mate.
Like now, I go through milkshake, Yazoo.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
let's go through hundreds and hundreds of bottles a week, mate. It's just crazy. As I said, we'll get onto that sort of eating at a different time because
Another time.
that will go on for quite a while.
That'll be a full episode. That'll be a full
Exactly.
episode, I'm sure.
Yeah. So let's try and just do a quick thing of a couple of your favorite things. So let's start with your favorite movie.
Oh my god, favorite movie. Right. Okay. I have a few. I have a few. Remember the Titans with Denzel Washington? It's based on a true story about an American football team in the 60s, I think, where they're divided by the whites and blacks, right? And Denzel Washington comes in to coach this team to get better, basically. And he brings in the black community into this team, and it's about the racial feud that they have, but about how they built on it and how they ended up basically loving each other like family and all this sort of stuff. Mate, fantastic film. Really, really great film.
Can't say I've heard of it, if I'm honest.
Yeah. It was when was it filmed? It must have been in the 80s or like early 90s or something like that. Okay. But check it out, bro. It's a really good film. American football. Remember the Titans. I'll send you what's the name in the text message later on. But it's either that one or The Warrior. Tom Hardy. UFC fighting.
Yes, MMA fighting. Yes, okay.
MMA, that's it.
Good movie.
Mate, great film. They do that so well, and Tom Hardy's just brilliant in it, man. Absolutely fantastic.
So fun fact: my cousin actually trains Tom Hardy for multiple movies. Yeah,
that's crazy. So, what does your cousin do?
He's a cage fighter.
Yeah, but so does he teach?
He teaches it. I think he's in like Dubai at the moment or something. You know, so, but yeah, he trained Tom Hardy in Richmond.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
mate. You might as well swing by. Go, look, let me teach you a few things.
I'd have to beat him up. No, he would totally kick my head in.
He's a beast, mate. He's a beast. But yeah, those would be my favorite films.
So yeah, I would say my favorite movie is Lock Up with Sylvester Stallone.
Okay.
It is a prison movie, and I think he's in a low maximum security prison. I think he's serving time for like quite a petty crime. So he comes out, I think, weekends sort of thing. You know,
okay.
So it's that kind of low. He hasn't really committed anything major. And then the warden takes over that prison that he met in a different prison. Who it was something like he tried to escape from the last prison. And I think it was to get to a funeral of one of his friends or something. It wasn't like he was trying to escape because he wanted to escape. He was trying to get to the funeral. I'm really hoping I got this right because I tried to say it's my favorite movie. But yeah, then this guy then gets him on a huge sentence. He tries to get him on like a death charge or murder charge for killing somebody. And yeah, then yeah, it's like I don't want to say the ending because we wouldn't.
Yeah. I might want to see it.
But it's a really cool movie, and it's actually my favorite Sylvester Stallone movie. Yeah,
yeah.
over Rocky and Rambo and all that. I mean, which they're great, but
And you're a boxing fan, so that's a
I
big
know
call.
boxing fans, so it's an amazing movie. But honorable mention to Harry Potter: Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Oh, part
That's
2.
second favorite movie. Because
That is an awesome film.
mate, the Battle of Hogwarts is just something.
It's insane.
It's just unreal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. I like the one. What's the Harry Potter where sorry. So it's like it kind of time warps. So they kind of meet themselves at certain points and they have to hide away from their past selves. What one is that?
The Prisoner of Azkaban.
That's one of my favorites. I think that was done so well.
So interestingly, that's my least favorite.
Moving on.
Yeah. So I'm glad that matched up.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So Lock Up and Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 2. Definitely check them out if you haven't seen them already.
Yeah.
And what did you say yours were?
The Warrior and Remember the Titans.
That's it. I was going to say Remember the Titans, but I've had a feeling I had that wrong.
I honestly think that you would really like that film.
Okay.
I just have a feeling it's just it's good. It's good. It's got a few.
This is the part where I say, yeah, man, I'm definitely going to check it out. And you ask me in 2 years' time, and I still haven't watched it.
Yeah, you see that film, Dan? What film was that, mate? You know the podcast we done. What podcast, mate?
Don't even know who you are at this point.
Yeah, sorry. Who are you guys?
Listen, that's my memory. I have a shocking memory, shockingly bad.
Linking on to that question, then, what would you say? Who's your favorite artist at the moment?
As in
musician, yeah, not painter.
Or Vincent van Gogh, or what are we talking? So we're talking musician. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, it's probably a pretty basic answer, but I mean, Ed Sheeran's always up there. Ed Sheeran for me is always up there.
He's a clever man. He's a clever
man. What's the guy? Machine Gun Kelly, man. I actually like a lot of his new stuff, which I think that's a bit out there. I don't think many people would say he's their favorite. But
I mean, I've not really heard his stuff. Really, I might have heard it on the radio and not realized it's him. But
I mean, for him, I don't know if you remember, he had the feud with Eminem.
Yeah,
they were going back and forward, and that's how I actually sort of heard of him. So that actually probably worked for him, didn't it? Because he got how much exposure.
Well, at least he got one fan out of it.
Well, exactly. But so there's, I think, but I'd say Ed Sheeran is pretty much the top. I would say.
Yeah.
I just, though his last song, as we discussed before, I think was a bit too poppy. It's a bit too much pop for me, but this is still a good song. But yeah, I love a lot.
It's catchy, and it sort of gets in your head. Yeah, I think he's very clever at writing. He definitely writes and makes songs that are just earworms, man. They're just there the whole time. That you cannot forget them.
I think what helps, man, is especially when you watch interviews and things that he does, he just seems like a really cool dude as well.
Down to earth, apparently. He's very down to earth.
He just seems that way, you know. And now he's the sponsor of Ipswich Town, isn't he? I think that's cool, man. It's like his hometown. I like that. He seems very down to earth, very like community minded. You know, he loves 100%. Where he's from, and I think that's a really good trait. I think.
Yeah.
What about yourself? What are you into?
At the moment, I've been trailing back a bit, sort of listening to songs that I used to listen to, sort of reminiscing about the songs that I used to listen to and sort of searching them on Spotify and stuff. But I mean, artist-wise, man, I think at the moment, I'm so I like grime music. I'm sure we've spoken about it before, and we've spoken about Chip before. And Chip for me is just he's so sick, man. Like he's
a lyrical genius, isn't he? Yeah.
Mad, just the way he words things out and just paints a picture to you. Not only Chip, but Bugsy as well. Bugsy, his recent album called Resurrection, I think it was. I might have got that wrong, but his recent album anyway. It was a very, very good album, man. It was very good. Paints a picture in every song, like beautifully done. But I if I had to say favorite artist again, like just for the pure craft, I probably would have to say Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, fair.
Or
I think he's probably a lot of people's, man.
I mean, he's succeeding for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
100%.
I quite like James Bay.
Okay, yeah.
James Bay. Yeah, he's cool. And I quite like. Do you know someone called Jacob Banks?
No, can't say I do.
His songs are like proper soulful. Like yes, yeah. I like him. I like him as well. I'll probably say he's definitely he's up there. He's definitely one of the tops for me anyway. Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say that.
Yeah, I can't say I've heard of him, but yeah, I'll definitely check him out. I mean, if it's similar to what I listen to anyway.
He's got a song on one of the FIFAs, I'm sure.
Which that
Yeah,
normally
I'll
helps,
send you
man.
one. Yeah, I'm like,
You know?
oh god, there's about 50 songs each
Yeah,
FIFA, isn't
yeah.
there?
But there's I think FIFA could be a good thing. Didn't Tom Grennan, I think, had a song on
Yeah.
FIFA? I think that's how he blew. You know, so I think FIFA's
Yeah.
helping people, you know.
Yeah, massively. Got loads of like, yeah.
So moving on from songs, book. Favorite book. Do you have a favorite book?
I'm not gonna lie to you, Daniel.
I can't read.
Yeah.
It's all right. Don't be embarrassed. No need to be embarrassed, man. We're all friends.
When you sent me the text to my phone, I've got my mum to read it out for me.
I got on text to speech.
Yeah. Can you join this? No, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't read books, and the reason why I don't read books is that I'm so into like visually seeing something that I feel like that in itself blows my mind more than my own imagination. And that's, it sounds weird because obviously your own imagination can build up whatever you want it to be and all that sort of stuff. But I'd rather just let myself go and just be in this world, not have to think of it in my head and read it. And, sort of, I know it sounds lazy, but less effort to see something incredible,
Yeah,
I'm a lazy bitch, basically.
I was going to say you're lazy.
Yeah.
Let's just say it how it is. You're lazy.
Yeah, I'm a lazy fucker.
But no, for me, my favorite book will always be Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, because it was the first book I think I read every single page. I got lost in it, man. I started to believe I was in the world, I was in Hogwarts, and I was young at the time, man. It was probably 10 or something.
That came out when we were young, man.
Yeah. So it came out 97. So we would have been 5, 6 age.
7. Jesus, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't remember when I first got it. I have to be totally honest. I don't remember when I first got it, but I remember it being the first book that I read, and it just captured me, And then from then on, every time a book was released, on the release date, it would come to my door, And I remember, like, we can go into this subject on another podcast, but I was quite bad in school. I think it's fair to say, Mark. I think you would agree with that.
I mean, no comment until the podcast episode comes on, but here we go.
But it was actually used against me. It was, my mum said to me once, I think it was Order of the Phoenix was coming out, and she'd ordered it for me. And it was sort of used against me. It was like, right, now you have to behave in school to get this book. If you want this book, you're going to have to behave.
Yeah.
And I think I managed to behave long enough to get the book. And I got the book and I read it, and I don't think the behavior lasted that much afterwards, to be honest. But no, so that was like, I got them on every release date, man. I just, as you're aware, look, that's where my Twitch name comes from, The Chosen One. It's all, everything's linked to Harry Potter, man. It's just
so that in itself, like that whole series really stuck with you then, didn't it? From such a young age, then obviously going forward.
It was almost always my most favorite thing. 100%,
Okay, then question. How does the film compare to the book? So in your eyes?
So they're all sort of similar, aren't they? But they're different, because you got to look at the size of the books, man. Look at the size of Order of the Phoenix and Goblet of Fire. They're huge. You can't fit things in. So they're missing things, They have to take things out, and yeah, man. Like, listen, I think if I had to pick the books or the movies, if you were to ask me, I think I would go with the movies, because I'm like, I'm a bit lazy as well. So I'd rather watch it than spend 2 weeks reading the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd probably pick the movies. But I'm also someone that would love a new book. I know she ended everything. Everything was wrapped up, but man, I'd love a new book.
Just give me that.
Love
Yeah.
it. Just anything. Make something up. I don't know. Go back.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's. I'd like to see the stage show or the theatre show. I'm not sure what you would say. I think it's
Yeah, I've heard some really interesting I don't want to say rumors, is probably the wrong word, but some interesting pieces of information about this play. That apparently you have it's a two-parter. Like
yeah.
so the first hour, whatever or the first show you see is the first half, and then you see the second show in like another time. Or I don't know. I haven't been. This is all just what I've heard. But you basically have to see two shows.
Yeah.
It's that large.
So I think there's a part 1 and a part 2.
That's
as you
crazy.
said. But I think you can see them on the same day, or you can see them different days.
That's mental, you know. They do
I'm kind of the person where I'd want to watch them in the same day.
You'd have to. Yeah,
I don't want to travel somewhere to watch part 1 and then go back to watch part 2. You know, just get it done in one go. You know,
and like you're in that world anyway. They've created this world for you. You cannot leave halfway and be like, "Oh, I'll see part 2 on November the 6th."
Yeah, I agree with that. But I've got the because obviously they came out with the book first, so it was like a script almost, wasn't it? I'm not sure how they would.
It was like a.
What's the correct term?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the correct term.
I'm trying to think because I've actually got the book up there.
It's like a.
I don't know what they called it, but
screenplay.
It's like a script, a screenplay. I think it's screenplay. Yeah. I think that's correct. But I'll be honest, I wasn't too hot on that because it's kind of weird going from the whole Harry Potter thing to suddenly they're kids. It's kind of a bit more. You're not really attached to the kids as characters or anything, you know. So I always found that a bit weird. But as I said to you, that's where like she ended everything where you couldn't really go anything further with them. I mean, you probably could come up with something, but what are you going to do? Yeah. Are you going to do another evil person? I mean, how long do you keep going down that road? You know?
Yeah, it's very true.
I don't know. But, But that so in terms of favorite books, man, definitely Harry Potter books. The first one will always be my most favorite because it was the first book that ever took my imagination.
Well, yeah, it made such an impact on your life. So yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, no, I have to agree with you. I think, although I didn't read all the books, I did read part of number 1 and parts of the others and all that sort of stuff. I was just lazy with reading. I've never been too into it, but from what I read, it was better than any other book I've tried to read before. So, I bet I can imagine it must have been such a book to read, man.
So I haven't read. I'll be honest, I haven't read many books. That's the one series I did read every single page and multiple times. But there was, what was the book? You might, I don't know if you remember. Well, I mean, we're the same age. They would have came out when we were younger. You know, I think we might start in school or something. I think it was the boy who was a spy.
You're thinking about Point Blank.
That's the one. Did we do that in school or something?
We did that in school.
Was it Stormbreaker or something? Why does that stick in my head?
Let me find that on. Do you know what? Because when you were thinking book, I was trying to find Point Blank the book.
I think it was Point Blank, yeah.
Book series, yeah. And it had.
Wasn't his name like Alex Rider or something? Or
right, Alex Rider just came up as well. Yeah. That's mad.
That stuck in my head for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, it's a film.
I think it just came out as a film, didn't it? Or not?
Yeah. It was Anthony Horowitz.
That's the guy who wrote it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it, yeah. Yeah, that's it, yeah.
That one there.
Oh, that was some time
ago. That book must have come out. Let me see. The book was released in the United Kingdom on September the 3rd of 2001.
Yes, I mean, we were 10.
20 years ago. Mad.
You've just made me feel really old.
Yeah. I remember that book cover like it was like I've got it in my hand now.
I think we might have done it in school. That's why I was. We did. Read it. Yeah, I think we might.
We did because I remember it being in class and I think we either got given it or we had to buy it or something. But I remember everyone had the book for a purpose, and the purpose must have been the English class or whatever it was. But that was in school. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So that's an honourable mention from me, I think.
I'd love to reread that just to see what it was like as a kid reading it and see if
I'd
it sort of
probably
brings
read
back
it now and it's just like, this is rubbish.
Yeah, this
But
is
at the time, it was like,
crap.
it was really good. I don't know. Maybe it's an age thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. Could
Um,
be.
But yeah, I mean, is there anything else you want to discuss in episode 1?
Well, bro, let me see. Hang on, let me come off. Can I minimize my thing? Yeah, okay. Let's try this. If not, we'll cut it.
No worries. All good.
Okay. I have a little game to play, and I'm only going to do 5 of them.
Okay, no worries.
I am going to. This is called guess the headline, true or false. So I'm going to give you a headline. Yeah.
Okay.
And you have to now tell me whether it was true or false in your opinion.
Okay, I like it. Let's
okay.
see.
So let me go through my list and let me just pick.
So have you made some of these up?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Right. Cool.
Yes.
So now I have to work out whether it's your imagination or it's true. Okay. We got it.
This is a test.
This is like a test to see how much I know you, isn't it? This is what you're really doing.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay. First off, this is a title of in a newspaper. Here we go. Ready? True or false? Cows lose their jobs as milk prices drop. True or false?
Cows lose their. Okay. You know, this sounds mad, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, right, that's true. I don't think you'd make that up. I don't know if you're that twisted in the head to come up with it.
Okay. 1 out of 1.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Well done.
Easy.
Okay. Next one. Woman in sumo wrestler suit assaulted her ex-girlfriend in gay pub after she waved at a man dressed as a Snickers bar.
Oh my God. Where did you get these from? Okay.
Daniel, true or false?
Again, I'm going to go with true because I don't think you could come up with that.
You've read these papers before, my friend. That is very true.
I haven't.
That is very true.
You got to have some imagination to come up with that.
It's very true. Okay. Yeah, 2 out of 2 so far. Next one. Man gets 30 years in prison. Soon as he has news, he throws dildo at the journey. The attorney, sorry.
It's false. Because where would he get a dildo from?
It's true.
Oh, we got one wrong.
I'm joking. It's false.
Oh, I was gonna say, where did he pull this dildo from? Actually, don't answer that. Let's just leave that there.
Okay, ready?
Let's
go. Best man left bleeding after being hit in the head by a flying dildo.
Yeah, that's false. Come on. That's gotta be false.
It's true.
Oh my God. How is that true?
That was the NT News. I don't know where that is. The picture's crazy.
That's some made up news.
That is the title. I don't know how many I've done, but I'm doing one more.
I think that's 3 from 4. I'm happy with it.
Three from 4. Okay, one more. Let me see if there's a good one. Okay. Cops surround bank as armed robbery takes place, then finds out the bank is closed.
We gotta go false. That can't be correct. That's got to be false. If that's true, that is mental.
It's false.
I was gonna say that if that came out true, that is mental. We have to question what the police are doing.
I think I didn't do too good of a job to hide the false ones, but you got it correct, my friend.
I think we got 4 out of 5. I think listen, I'm pretty happy with it.
Listen, I think next time you'll have to come up with a competition on mine. See if I can see if I can beat 4 out of 5. Let's see.
Okay, that's the benchmark.
That's the benchmark.
That's 4 out of 5.
You've set it a very high benchmark, my friend.
I was gonna say it's very good.
You've done very well.
Listen, it's going to take some beating.
Yeah,
I'm confident. I'm confident that lasts for a
Am
while.
I ready? I don't know.
Can you
But
step up to the task, mate? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You better get practicing.
Too bloody right, mate.
But listen,
right.
I think that's a good point to end
Yeah,
this
man.
first podcast on.
Yes,
how'd you
first
feel?
episode done.
How'd you feel after this?
I enjoyed myself, man. I really, really enjoyed myself, and I really, in that, I think we've also discovered some topics that we can later on in life talk about as well. So, yeah, I think guys at home, if you let us know in the comments below, or reach out to us on our socials, which we'll put in the descriptions as well. Let us know what you thought of the first episode and whether you liked it, or if there's any topics that you think that we should talk about, please do let us know. And yeah, I've enjoyed myself, Dan. What about you?
Yeah, I think it was went very well. As we saw at the beginning, when this took about 100 takes to get started.
No, I was gonna say, do you know what? It's so funny. Yeah, it's so funny. I wasn't gonna say this, but in the beginning, Daniel, you were nervous.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you've just conducted the whole of this podcast. You're like, so anyway, you linked the conversation. Something like, my man's just linked. Okay, that was the smoothest transition I've ever seen, mate. What's going on?
I think for me, as I said to you before, it was the beginning. It was the start. I couldn't start. I don't know why. And then once it started flowing with the football chat, then it just seemed to open up, and I just become a bit more confident. I think that's what it was.
It's just getting into that comfortable zone and just making it seem like, oh, we're not just talking to camera, or all that sort of stuff. It's two good mates having a good time. So
100%. But this has been brilliant. Listen, I look forward to episode 2.
Yeah, me too, man.
Listen, as Mark said, if you like this, give us a like. Let us know. Any comments? We'd love a comment. Any questions you want to ask us? Ask away. All the socials will be in the description. Give us a follow if you wish.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
All right, then, Dan.
I think that's time to call it a night.
Episode 1 done.
Over and out. I appreciate you.
Nice one, bro.